speaking of great jobs, in his 8th year with Polk County schools, a guy that has made a bigger difference in Polk County high school sports than anybody in history, and I can say that without reservation, is Dan Talbot. Dan, welcome aboard.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm a little unfortunate. I wish I would have went before the student athletes because, I mean, obviously they're going to do better than I did. But
well,
remind to put them third, wrap up the show. They did a great job, And it's like you said earlier, it's good to see, unfortunately in our society we see the negative, but it's great to see student athletes come up and talk about their experiences and have composure and do that thing. So it's great, to see that side of it because unfortunately on our side we just see the negative things in the newspaper. So it's great. So appreciate you guys having them on. It's great for our community to see that.
Well, Markel was, what a soft-spoken kid. In that position, man, you're getting pounded every down.
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, he didn't run soft-spoken.
Yeah.
In December.
He let his legs do the talking.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that is absolutely amazing. Well, one of the things that, this is almost like a press announcement, but 9 high school state championships in Polk County, more than anywhere else in the state of Florida. A lot of it right here, Dan Talbot, and working in partnership with Visit Central Florida Sports, formerly Polk County Sports Marketing. And Dan, we've talked about the practical side of that, of hosting these events here in Polk, reduce significantly the travel costs of, for these teams, these schools, and everything else, put those resources into areas that are needed. Talk a little bit about the events that are coming. Boys and girls basketball, they're going to be here in, wow. It's going to be like a month.
Yeah.
State championships, but they've been here 25, 30 years.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Not only do we, obviously in our end, we save travel costs, but you really feel like you're giving back to the community, which is very important as a school system to be, we have, things we need to work on as a school district, but giving back to our community and being able to provide them the best quality of the championships. It's the state championships. There's no better event in the high school sport than the state championship. So to be able to provide our community with that is our way of giving back to our community, and we can get into the money we save and the economic impact it does for Polk County. But like you said, we have a lot of events coming up. You just mentioned basketball, and my mind's not even on basketball because we are kicking off our second event. We had girls volleyball in the fall at Polk State College in Winter Haven, and then our next one is next weekend at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, which we have cheerleading, and basically we have 3 events before basketball gets here. We have cheerleading next weekend, and then we're going to follow it up with girls weightlifting on February 17th, and then as soon as that event's over, we'll go right into next week for boys and girls soccer in the lower classifications out at Lake Myrtle in the city of Auburndale. And then once we're done with soccer, we'll move right into boys and girls basketball. There is a change this year. It's not the girls tournament the first week and then the boys tournament the second week. They're going to be intermixed with the lower classifications in the state, February 27th to like March 2nd, and then the big classification schools will come in March 6th and March 9th and have those. I don't know the exact dates. Because like I said, I'm not worried about basketball right now. We got cheerleading next weekend, and that's my focus. Make sure that event is put on well, and the kids have a great experience for that one. But the boys basketball one will be interesting because we're intertwining boys and girls. So in theory, if you look at the attendance that we've had for girls basketball, it's been lower than we'd like, and so we are trying ways to increase the attendance. But the one issue and the main driving factor is not attendance and this and that is. A lot of schools that are really good at basketball, the boys and girls team are really good. And when you have the girls playing on a Friday a Friday early evening, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock at the RP Funding Center, and the boys are playing that night at home in the regional finals, the parents in the community have to make choices of who they're going to support. So the idea behind intertwining the boys and girls is we'll take a Polk County school. Let's take, Bartow. They have won the state championship for boys basketball in the last few years. Essentially we could have a girls Bartow game at say 1 o'clock and then followed up at 3 o'clock with the boys game. I mean, so essentially you could have 2 high schools playing back to back, boys and girls, and then now no one has to choose. the communities can come and support both schools. That's kind of the intent behind it. So we're excited to give it a try and see how it works.
I think it's I think it's exciting, and you know I'm all about trying new stuff. You know, right?
Well, well, we've had some complaints and we've had some concern, but the beautiful thing is that we can try it for a year or two, and if it doesn't meet our expectations, we can either go back to the way it was or try something new. People think that people are so scared of change because when you change something, they think you're never going to change back, or or it's set in stone. We're going to try something, see how it works, and make it the best possible experience for the student athletes in our community. And if it doesn't work, we can always go back and regroup and try something different. That's the nice thing.
You want to talk about big impact finals to have cheerleading. You're talking about really big squads. They travel big.
Yes.
Tell us about the finding rooms, stuff like that. How's it been in the
Well, the great thing about cheerleading is it's not like high school football, where you solely rely on high school. There's a big club cheer organizations all around the state. So the RP Funding Center has tremendous experience in hosting these events already because of the private squads in cheer and the club cheer. It's people don't understand. It's a year-round sport. We're just now getting to the high school portion, so we have experience. But it's a lot of people for a 3.5-minute competition.
Oh yeah.
And that's the interesting thing.
It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of noise.
Speaking of Lakeland High School, I have a great relationship with the Pouncey twins. And it's good to see how much gray hair they caused me during high school, because they now have daughters that are in cheerleading, so they are getting their paybacks. But they're talking about, we fly all over the country for a 3-minute, performance, but they love it, and you see them cheering. But cheerleading is a great event. It takes, they are considered athletes with our competitive cheer team, and some of the things they can do are truly amazing. And what they do and the coordination in a 3-minute routine is spectacular.
Well, I say it all the time. They are athletes. Dance, gymnastics, ballet. You got it's 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes of just pure energy, and you've got to be moving all the time.
And my stats may be old, but at one point I think it was also the highest injury rate of any of the sports.
Correct.
Was gymnastics, cheer.
You're flipping in the air and you're relying on people to catch you. And what other sport do you do that? And and it is
just
a sport.
Clarify, somebody else.
And
we're
it
not
is
flipping.
Correct. It is a sport to me because the simplest thing in cheerleading is toe touches, and I've already been eliminated.
Yeah.
Just on one of the basic events. So.
Well. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
We're all done.
He just teed that baby up.
I can admit my weaknesses.
Not going to take a swing today. Well, there's some new events coming in, and you mentioned the soccer at the new soccer stadium at Lake Myrtle, and we have a special grand opening of that stadium with the new naming rights for that. We were planning on doing that during the state championships, but that has subsequently moved because the corporate sponsor, whose name is going to go on the stadium, asked us to. They have some things going on and said okay. But I think this is going to be an unbelievable opportunity with soccer, because the sports governing body in the state, Florida Youth Soccer Association, is right there.
And we have access, and they're opening up access to their facility to help assist us in putting on a great event. But think about it, we've always had basketball in Polk County, and we're known for hosting basketball. Even though it's gray and blue, it's still, teams are wanting to get to the White House, and I think, with the championships in Polk County, we're trying to catch on. We want to go to Polk County. We want every sport to say we want to get to Polk County, because that's the end road where the championship is. But exciting that Lakeland's always been the staple of basketball, but to include Winter Haven with girls and boys volleyball, and then to me the one I am truly most excited about is soccer, because we have now included another city entity in our county, which is the City of Auburndale, which I can tell you Cody and his staff do a tremendous job with Parks and Recs. They bend over backwards for us to, we host our county baseball tournament out there across the street from the stadium. And what better opportunity can I go and watch every single one of our teams perform at one setting with all our baseball teams performing. It gives me a chance to visit with administrators and parents all in one setting. So the city of Auburndale, we're looking forward to that. And it's just, I love Polk County because, like you guys said earlier, sports is not the most important thing, but we understand the importance of it, and so we do put time and attention to it.
Yeah, well, and it certainly shows, and Polk County's made better off because of your efforts and so many others. But we appreciate you. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to come and visit us. You've got a busy schedule going on. So, Dan Talbot, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. If you enjoyed this interview and want to watch more Sports Central, click the video below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.